Hey guys, it's Norm with Clubhouse Chatter, and of course we got producer Brian with us behind the scenes. So today, our special guest is Mr. Jerry Walker, who is now, between you and your wife, Lisa, you solely own the Salem Keizer Volcanoes now.
That's right. Last fall, Mr. Tucker officially retired from baseball, and so our 27-year partnership came to an end, and we were provided the opportunity to purchase his interest in the team. So, yeah, Lisa and I are now 100% owners.
27 years, that's quite a while.
This is my 28th season. 1989 in Bellingham, Washington was the first year.
We were looking at some of those, the card sheets of this players from back, back in Baby M's, as they used to call them, with Ken Griffey Jr., Wheels, Gary Wheelock coaching, and then Northwest League icon trainer Spider Webb.
Yeah, Spider retired, I think, after 35 years.
Yes.
And, we honored him here the last time he was at Volcano Stadium. But Spider's a dear friend, and I see his Facebook posts all the time. I'm sure you do too.
Absolutely, he's one of the best in the game, and he's quite
loving
entertaining.
Life. He's loving life.
He is. 20th season here in Salem Keizer.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, really, but we have done a lot over 20 years. So I guess when you look at it that way, but time does fly, and 20 years, it's hard to believe. Remember back when there was just horse barns and cow pastures around us here, and now we have a full shopping center, and Keizer Volcano Stadium is right at the end of it. So.
And one of our other co-hosts, Tony Torcato, he's at the beach. Said hello, and we brought Tony into the mix. Tony was one of your first players. I think he was 98, I believe, or 97.
He was a 1998 first-round draft pick of the San Francisco Giants. Played third base for us that year.
I started coming around in 2000. That was probably 2000. I was here.
And we couldn't get rid of you after you started.
Oh, I know. I'm still here. And it's a great place to watch a game. There are no bad seats. There are, no bad views from this stadium. The staff has always been good and friendly. And you're starting to bring more family entertainment back this year.
Well, it's our 20th season, so, we want to make a big splash. And when fans come out this year, we want them to say, wow, and then look over here and say, wow, and look out there and say, wow. And then, the total fan experience, we want it to be a wow, and just rejuvenate everything and freshen everything up. It's Lisa and my first season, so even though it's my 28th, it's my first as a sole owner. So it gave us the opportunity to reinvest into the community and into the franchise, and so that's what we've done. So we're really excited about what's going on.
And wow is right. And so you've got the San Diego Chicken coming.
We do. Ted Gianolis is an old friend of mine. And he's probably okay with me saying old because he's old. But we're getting him out of retirement. He only does a few shows a year now, and he agreed to come back here. I hired him my first year in baseball in 1989, so I had him for many, many years. And then finally he started to pull back and not do as many shows, and so he stopped coming here. But we have him back, and this likely will be the last time. But what a great date. Thursday, July 21st. So.
I'm excited. Like I said, I've been coming here since 2000, and I've seen a lot here. And also working for you down at Lava Lodge, doing security and whatnot, and shooting video with my friend Mig. Man, we've been through a lot, and we've seen a lot. And I think one of the, the greatest moments, have been the championship seasons of 2001.
Right.
We had 2006, 7, and 8.
And 6, 7, and 9.
6, 7, and 9.
Yeah, but you missed our first one. It was 1998.
1998. I wasn't here for that one. Yep. Yeah. And all of them, I'm sure have special meaning. I look back at the 4 that I've been involved with, and I don't know if I can say that I have a favorite one. I remember, I would say the extra inning game was Spokane when Daniel Cook scored the game-winning run, and that was 2008, I believe. No, it was 2007. 2007. Yeah. And Spokane was a pretty darn good team that year. They had pitching.
Yeah, but we ran 4 straight years, and this is an incredible feat. And you may not even know this. I assume you do, though. You know almost everything about Volcanoes baseball. 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009. The Volcanoes were not out of first place, not even for a single day, for 4 consecutive years.
I did know that,
Yes.
and that is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you know that, Brian? It is a crazy stat when you think about it.
Never out of first place, not even for a single day. Now, first of all, you got to win an opening day to do that.
Absolutely.
So, but you have to win a lot after that too. So we just had an incredible run there. 304 consecutive games. We were never out of first place.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's unheard of. I don't know if. We got to dig up some stats and see if there's any other team that
could ever say that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember in 2006 we had that incredible year where we won 55 games, and I remember Pat Lafferty, our radio broadcaster at the time, and Jerry Howard and some of our staff saying, we don't know if that'll ever be broken. I mean, that is just such a great year. What happens the very next year? This is back-to-back years of Steve Decker. We win 57 games.
Yeah.
We go 57-19.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do the math on that winning percentage.
And you're voted minor league baseball team of the year.
Exactly.
That
Nationally.
year. Nationally.
Yeah. First time ever a Class A short season team, and still the first time ever that a Class A short season team won that award. It's never been awarded to another one.
Do you have a favorite championship out of the?
I'd probably go back to the first one with Keith Comstock was our manager. Yeah. That's the year you weren't here, but the Fred Stanley year was great. I love Steve Decker and what he did. I mean, but we were just crushing teams then. And Trev was a great manager, and it was fun to be around when he won in 2009. So, it's hard to pick, but always your first of anything. Pretty special, and it was our second year, so
yeah.
That was really fun to bring a championship to Keizer in just our second year.
There's so many plays that I look back on, and I'm thinking 2001 when John Williams is called up from Arizona, and I mean, we had Connor Jackson come through the league a couple years later, and he was a doubles machine, if you remember, with Yakima Bears, but Johnny doubles one down the line to keep that 2001 season going.
He got really hot in the last 10 days of the season. I mean,
Absolutely.
It wasn't just one hit, but he's a stocky little catcher.
Yeah.
Could swing it from the left side, and he was good. He was good for us for 10 days, and that got us into the championship.
Yeah. and to my knowledge, he did nothing after that. I think he kicked around for another season, maybe a half season, and then he was released.
Well, let's put it this way. He wasn't and isn't one of the 91 players that have played here that went on to the big leagues.
91 players.
91. So, maybe by the end of this year we'll hit number 100, probably sometime next year, though. So.
Are you going to do a 20th anniversary all Volcanoes team?
Yeah, that's a good thought. We probably will. Won't be this year. Probably next year after we have 20 full seasons. This year we concentrated pretty much on ballpark enhancements and improvements, and next year, we'll refine what we've got and probably do things like that are more publicity driven.
And so as I'm overlooking the ballpark here, I see a couple of new things that stand out. The beautiful lush grass of the field looks great. You have a new scoreboard out there?
We do. That's high definition. It's like watching television out there, but it's 400 square feet. It's got every capability, a center field camera on first base, camera on third base, camera behind home plate, a roving fan cam. It's got instant replay capabilities. It's going to really enhance the fan experience here at the stadium. So it's awesome. I'm surprised. Sad it's not on right now. I didn't know you were going to be filming it, but that's okay. It'll make the fans come out to see it.
Absolutely. And what else do we have? We have some new tables up on the main concourse.
Yeah, we brought in some VIP box seats right on the main concourse, directly behind home plate. And those are really nice because you've got your own table, and there's 4 chairs, and they're swivel chairs, really comfortable. I think you sat in one.
They are really comfortable.
But I mean,
yes.
What a great way to watch a ball game, and you can get up and get back into your seat without, going around anyone. Just swivel your chair, get up and go. Swivel your chair when you come back, get right in. I mean, they're really nice. They're going to be, loved by the fans. So. And the other thing, Norm, is probably the biggest thing, is we got a 1,722 square foot patio on the field.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not near the field. It is
It's
on the field. Yeah, it's on the field.
It reminds me of what Visalia did with their dugout. They have like the dugout.
Oh, so I haven't been there.
Extension as well, and so that's going to be pretty cool. It's kind of in between the dugout and the bullpen area.
Exactly, just
And,
tucked it right in there.
That is going to be pretty cool as well.
It is. It's huge, and it's a party patio. It's for big groups,
Right.
and it's booking up. So
Good.
Yeah, it'll be good.
And what else do we have coming up for this year? So we got San Diego Chicken. I know you got 4th of July. You got fireworks every Friday night.
We
home
do.
Games again.
We do, and we're home on the 4th of July, and of course our patriotic tributes are to die for. I mean, they're really
One of the coolest
really well
things.
done.
One of the coolest things in baseball, I think.
Yeah, it's really well done. But it's a year long. I mean, it doesn't just happen. Jerry Howard works on it, year round. So that's why it's so great.
Right.
We've also added a new kid zone. You can't see it today, but we brought in a whole bunch of new inflatables that'll be down in the kid zone. There will be an obstacle course down there. There's a new batting station that's going to be down there that's an inflatable, a new scale game. And a bounce house down there, and a brand new speed pitch also will be on the main stadium concourse. And the graphics on those are awesome. I mean, you're not going to miss them. So,
Right.
Yeah, it's cool. Lots of good stuff. Building a new VIP suite upstairs. The skybox suite right behind home plate, so that's almost done. All our skyboxes are sold out for this year, so I mean it's going to be a good year.
It's going to be a great year. Like I said, I'm excited. I always
totally.
get excited for Volcanoes baseball. Coming over here and being part of the action and the fun.
Yeah. Well, the ballpark's going to come alive.
That's good. That's good. It's been a while since it's been really rocking. I mean, it rocks.
Yeah, on certain nights, yeah.
But
yeah, try to pick it up.
It's been a while, and and I'm excited for that. And you also do a survivor cancer weekend.
That's right. That's early August. Dr. Bud Pierce, the same Bud Pierce that's running for governor, won the Republican primary. He has sponsored that. What is it? 15 years now.
Wow.
So, and it's it's a celebration of life. It's
and that's pretty.
Cancer survivors all come out and leave their worries behind and just come out and enjoy a ball game.
And that's pretty dear to Lisa's heart.
Well, yeah,
that's
how we met Dr. Bud. Was my wife had breast cancer and he saved her life. And he's such a great guy that we got to know him. And he said, let's do something. What can we do for survivors and to celebrate victory?
Yeah.
So we've done it now for like 15 years. So it started as a cancer awareness night, and it got so big that we built it into a cancer awareness weekend. So it's a 3-day event. So we have fireworks on Friday and Saturday night that particular weekend. I think it's a 5th, 6th, and 7th of August. And then a post-game concert on the Sunday, following the Sunday game. So fireworks concert.
And if you haven't seen fireworks at Volcano Stadium, you really need to. They put on a great show, of course, with the 4th of July being, that, and then Fan Appreciation Night as well.
Well, we will have them opening night this year because opening night's a Friday night.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so they do a good job with the fireworks, right behind the stadium there. They clear out, the third base, the left field line, and
I think what makes it so special, Norm, and why the fans enjoy it so much, and we always get the comment, best show I've ever seen, is how close the fans are to it.
Yes.
Those things go up, and it looks like it's right over your head. Normally when we're watching a fireworks show, you're watching it from a distance, and I mean they're still beautiful, but this is impressive because of how close you are to the action.
And I know from experience that the players coming through as well know that. A lot of the times they'll just get dressed, get on the bus, and get ready to go home, and they don't even watch fireworks. But you're actually having the teams come out and oohing and ahhing over them as well, and that's been
pretty impressive.
For quite a while.
Again, it's because of the proximity to the to the fireworks. Yeah, it's all good.
So let's chat a little bit about the Gresham GrayWolves.
All right.
And so your new venture up there in Gresham.
Yep, because I have not enough to do.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Well, the Gresham GrayWolves is a collegiate wood bat team in the West Coast League. There's 3 teams in Oregon in that particular league. The Bend team, the Corvallis Knights, which many people know about, and now the Gresham team. But the league itself has 11 teams throughout the Northwest. We go up into Victoria, British Columbia, and Kelowna, British Columbia. But the rest of the opponents are in the state of Washington. And, it's one of the best summer collegiate leagues around. And we moved our membership that was in Klamath Falls up to Gresham.
Right.
So much larger population base, and the travel is much better. We were once the Medford Rogues left the West Coast League, they joined the Great West League, brand new league, hasn't played a game yet. But they joined that league, and I think proximity to travel meant a lot for them as well. But that left us kind of on an island down in Klamath Falls with no travel partner and no one even close to us. So we had to make a decision, and basically just a business decision, what we were going to do. We're going to stay down there and probably go out of business or make a move so we could continue to play. And Gresham was the best available market. I mean, it's the 4th largest city in the state, 110,000 population. So yeah, we're going to do well up there. We're playing at Mount Hood Community College at Osland Field there. And opening night there is 1 week from tonight.
I know, can't believe that.
I can't believe I'm sitting here talking. I have a few things to do. And then the Friday night after that, we have opening night in Klamath Falls, because we kept Klamath Falls. We still have the Klamath Falls Gyms. They still play there at Keizer Stadium. But we moved them into a much better league for them, the Golden State League.
Right.
So our longest trip now is like 5.5 hours, where before our longest trip was 13 hours.
Right.
Yeah. So, and we only have 3 road trips.
Okay.
The rest are all home games, because the whole dynamic of that league is different. They all want to come to Klamath Falls because we have the big stadium, we have the big crowds. They play in smaller venues. They don't play in front of a lot of people. And so they want to come. So some of them have given up their home dates to us.
Oh, wow.
So rather than going home and home, it's home and home.
Right.
So we've got 27 home games and only 15 on the road.
Oh, wow.
So our travel is far reduced, only 3 trips. Get your 15 games in. All the rest of the times we're at home. We're at home there 7 consecutive weekends. So the fans down in Klamath Falls know, every weekend they can go to the ballpark. So scheduling is great.
We might have to make a trip down south there, Brian.
Well, you got any of 7 weekends, we're going to be there. Once we start, it's 7 straight weekends we're at home.
Yeah.
So we have opening night next Friday, Gresham. Friday night after that, Klamath Falls. Friday night after that, here. So you know where I'm going to be for that?
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll be here for opening night as well. And
of course you will be.
It's there's nowhere better to be. I mean,
yeah. Well, thank you.
I enjoy. I've gone up to Hillsborough a couple of times, but it just doesn't have the feel. This is home. This has a feeling of home.
You've been here forever, and so that's one reason. I mean, there's different cultures up there, and we actually draw to different markets.
Yes.
Different types of people, different clientele. We're more family oriented. I mean, our theme here is family, fun, well done. I mean, that's why we were enhancing the kids zone and all that type of thing. They're more, Portland oriented. The people, doesn't mean that one's better than the other.
Right.
It's different. So distinct differences on what type of ballpark experience you want to have.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. All the more baseball, the better. Get people like you talking about it.
Oh, absolutely. I'll talk about it all day long if I can.
Yeah,
and so you already know that.
Yeah,
and so let's brag on Mickey a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
So your son Mickey Walker, who, he was a ballpark rat.
Yep.
Bat boy, did whatever he needed to be done. Freshman year up at St. Mary's up in Washington is named Freshman of the Year. Right.
It's actually St. Martin's University, just to correct you on the name of the university.
Okay.
And he was named the Freshman Athlete of the Year in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference, GNAC they call it.
Right.
So, yeah, he was the most outstanding freshman in the league. So you can't do any better than that.
He had quite the season for a freshman.
Yeah, he led the team in 13 different pitching categories, including innings pitched, which is one of the reasons why they've shut him down now. He's not going to pitch. He pitched last year in the West Coast League.
Right.
Pitched for Klamath Falls.
And he was scheduled to play for Gresham.
Right, and he's actually on the roster. He may get in before the season's over, but he's not going to start because they've shut him down for a while. But in Klamath Falls, he actually was voted on the All-Star team and got to pitch in the All-Star game up in Bellingham. him. So he did that as a 17-year-old. He's only 18, so he graduated a year early. He should be pitching right now for one of these teams in the state playoffs that's out there, because he graduated a year early. So he's only 18, played in the West Coast League last year, went up to St. Martin's, was one of their starting pitchers, and led the team in a whole bunch of different categories and had a great year, and now he'll be going back there for his sophomore year. Hopefully before the season's over, they'll let him fire it up a little bit and wear the GrayWolves uniform. But he's supposed to start his long toss program back tomorrow. So that's the first step. There's nothing wrong with him. It's just that he threw 75 innings of college baseball. He's been pitching in college since last August when they started their practices. They went August, September, October, November, December. They took off for Christmas. We're back at it in January, all the way to the 1st of May. They said enough. So, they know what they've got.
Absolutely.
And they won't let them pitch for me.
Right. So coming up, you have the Oregon State High School Championships coming up next weekend.
Yeah, you want to talk about these Fridays? Next Friday, it's OSAA here.
Yeah.
The 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, and 6A championships all played here. We extended our agreement with OSAA for another 5 years, so they're going to be here this year plus 5 more. So, I mean, this is their home. They love it here. They love the natural surface. They also love the proximity. It's easy to get to for teams that are coming from all over the state. So, yeah, we've renewed that agreement. But, yeah, that's next Friday. Then it's GrayWolves. Then it's Gems. And then it's Volcanoes.
And then around the 4th of July, you're doing the Oregon High School Classic again.
We are? You mean the Futures game?
The Futures game, yes.
Yeah, we moved that to Friday night. Normally it's been July 3rd or July 4th.
Right.
But the way the dates ran and the calendar was this year, we thought July 1st, a Friday, would be better than playing it on the 3rd, which would be a Sunday, because a lot of people would be gone. So we thought we'd hit it on that Friday instead of...
And that's a pretty exciting showcase. And
it is. It's the best baseball players in the state of Oregon. And they're all either juniors or sophomores. So those are the people the scouts want. And then Mickey was scouted as a sophomore.
Right.
So
right.
And once you're a senior, you already know where you're going.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Unless you're a real late bloomer.
Right. Yeah. And then our
Were you a late bloomer?
I was a late bloomer.
Okay.
I grew up in Idaho, so we didn't have much baseball, unfortunately.
Which part of Idaho?
I was southern Idaho, Twin Falls area.
Okay.
And so we didn't have much
a baseball team there.
Well, yeah, Twin Falls Cowboys.
Yeah.
They didn't have it. They didn't when I was growing up. There wasn't, but my dad would always tell me stories of Twin Falls Cowboys because they were a Yankees farm club. And so...
Isn't that where Evel Knievel did his jumps?
Evel Knievel, yes. Evel Knievel did it. And there's going to be another attempt at the Snake River Canyon this summer by... Scott Truex is the program manager. Eddie Braun is the driver. And so Scott Truex, his dad, was the designer of the Sky Cycle for Evel Knievel. And so he's recreated that.
Oh, well.
And
so you're going to be there for that?
God, we hope so. We hope so. It's in August sometime, I believe. But I would love to go back home and be a part of that. And we've had Scott on the show talking about it. It's pretty exciting times.
That's good.
And so... But is there anything else you would like to add? I mean, how do we... tickets...
Yeah, well, tickets, single game tickets go on sale June 1st, so that's like, next Wednesday?
Yep.
And I would encourage fans to call quickly for opening night and Famous Chicken. I mean, we have lots of big nights, but those are going to go in a hurry.
Yeah, the chicken's going to be exciting.
Yeah, so I mean, we already get people stopping in here in droves looking for single game tickets already, which tells me there's a lot of excitement about what we're doing, because usually they're not coming in this early looking for single game tickets. So they go on sale June 1st, and we're ready to go. I mean, the ballpark's going to come alive next Friday with OSAA, and it's not going to stop until after Labor Day. Well, maybe a week after Labor Day.
Right.
Yeah, with the championship.
Yes. So I'm going to put you on the spot. So in all the years, 20 years that you've been here in Salem Keizer, what is your all-time favorite moment here at Volcano Stadium?
Well, I'm a first-time guy. I mentioned that with the 1998 championship, but opening night, that was such a huge culmination of everything that we'd worked on, and that was June 21st, 1997. As many people know, the game was actually rained out. I don't know if you recall that. But it was still a fabulous experience. We didn't rain the game out till about 8:30. It was scheduled to start at 7. We did everything possible to play the game. And during all that time, we did all the pregame activity and more pregame activity than anyone could ever stomach normally, but not that night. Because, I mean, the stadium was dedicated, and, I mean, the fans were so loving everything that it was so special. We had 4,901 fans here that night. And I went out front, as I always do afterwards, after the game was canceled. I was out there to shake people's hands, thank them for coming. There wasn't one person upset. I mean, it's like they just saw us win a game. I mean, they just loved everything.
Right.
And it was cool. So I'll never forget that, because it was a culmination of a lot of work, a lot of risk. You know, it was just, we put it all on the line. And I remember the San Francisco Giants calling me about 3 weeks prior to opening and says, Jerry, we're concerned. It's not going to get done. Where are we going to play? And this is a true story. And I said, you know, it's going to get done. Now, well, we need to have a backup plan. I want you to go put together a backup plan so we have some place to play that game in case it doesn't get done. Because you can't control everything. Some things are out of your hands. You're not the one that's, you know, putting the light poles up and whatever. No, I get it. But I said, if I take time to go find an alternate site for us to play, then it won't get done. So I'm all in. It's going to get done. And if you want to go, you know, I don't have time to go find alternatives. I've got to focus on getting the stadium done. So that's what I did. And they allowed me to do what I said I was going to do, and it happened. So, I mean, it was a big victory in many ways.
And you've been with the Giants ever since. I mean, right from the get-go.
Oh, this is my
besides up in Bellingham.
22nd year.
And so, talk a little bit about that relationship, because that is a pretty awesome relationship.
It's the best of the best. I mean, this is my 22nd year with the Giants. I have 3 World Series rings since I'm one of their owners. I mean, they gave me the same ring that Buster Posey gets, except it doesn't say Posey on the side, it says Walker. So I've got 3 World Series rings. You know, we love the Giants. We're one of the longest minor league affiliates with a major league club. I know we're in like the top 10%. 22 years is a long time. There are some out there that are longer, but not very many. And they love it. We love it. The venue is exactly what they want, and we treat their players well, and they know it. And you know, we love everything about them. Winning through a World Series certainly helps, but we loved them before that.
Yeah.
So, and this is an even year, Norm.
It is an even year, and the Giants are playing well right now.
Well, they've won 13 out of their last 14, but who's counting?
Exactly, exactly. So, you know, talking a little bit about, you know, Major League, you've got the Dodger pitcher making the 19-year-old kid making his debut.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Julio Urias, I think.
You know more about that than I do.
Do you remember what was the most anticipated Volcano debut? I mean, was it a Buster Posey? Was it a Lincecum?
Well, Lincecum was really highly talented. I mean, so was Posey. That's a good question. I'm trying to remember back who might have come in. To me, it seems like it was Lincecum, because
I think
he was a Northwest guy out of the University of Washington. And so, you know, some of the fans around here knew him. Right. I went down and watched him pitch against the Beavers at Oregon State, and I was there standing next to Dick Tidrow, who was scouting him at the time. We had not drafted him yet. And he threw 135 pitches in that game, a complete game for the UW against the Beavers. And his 135th pitch was 95 miles an hour.
Wow. Wow.
So it's wow, yeah. And, you know, of course, a lot of people thought he was undersized, he was under this, and was, you know, whatever. And maybe that's why he eventually broke down his body, but who knows? And we'll see how he does with the Angels on the comeback here. But, yeah, I mean, I hit probably him because of being a Northwest guy. But I'll tell you, one of the guys I admired the most and really took this league by storm, and this was way back, was 1989, Roger Sockhill.
Mm-hmm.
With the Mariners, he was a high school kid that came in, 18-year-old kid. I've never seen anyone throw the ball as fast as he threw it that year. I mean, he was like dominant on the mound. And he went on to play in the big leagues, as you know. So,
you know, there's been quite a few, you know, coming through the Northwest League. You know, you had Mike Piazza back in the 80s, and with the old Salem Dodgers.
King Griffey Jr., Edgar Martinez, Jr. Both played for Bellingham.
You know, and I look at, you know, I think about some of, you know, my favorite players coming through, you know, Connor Jackson with the Yakima Bears, you know, Casey Myers, Corey Myers, you know, Mike Lockwood, the old Southern Oregon Timberjacks. And,
well, just the guys that played here, though, are incredible. You got Pablo Sandoval.
Oh, absolutely. Pablo was so much fun to watch. Yeah. I mean, he was so youthful. Yeah. He always had that smile on his face. He would always hustle out to the third base position.
And Sergio Romo had a great year. that
Sergio
year with
Romo.
us. He's back pitching again.
Yep.
now,
And then his brother Andrew also played here.
Yeah.
You know, and
there's been great ones.
I think one that kind of gets lost in the shuffle is Will Thompson,
Yeah.
who was a great first baseman,
Had a sweet swing.
had a great first part of his season before he broke his ankle.
Yeah.
And after that, he kind of
Yeah,
it wasn't
didn't
the
make it.
same. And you know, I think
And Booth Bonser here.
Booth Bonser, yeah,
Joe
Tony
Nathan was the
Turcato,
first.
Joe Nathan,
Yeah.
yeah, Scoop McDowell.
Yeah, that's right. You know, Joe Nathan started as a shortstop.
Really?
Yeah, he played for me in Bellingham in 1995 as a shortstop. Okay, mediocre, didn't really hit. You know, in fact, he cost us a championship in 1995. We were playing over in Boise, and there was a play at the plate. The ground ball to the shortstop, the infield was in. Nathan throws a ball about 30 feet over the catcher's head, and so they make him a pitcher. So anyway, so this is a true story. And so the runs, you know, several runs scored because the throw was so wild. But then he did not play at all in 1996. So I was like, what's going on here? So he talked to the Giants, and the Giants decided that they would give him a chance of being a pitcher. So he came here with the Salem Keizer Volcanoes in 1997 as a pitcher.
Right.
And then that started a great career that he's had as a pitcher. But he started as a shortstop for me, played in Bellingham in 1995, took 96 off, and then came here. So he's one of the few guys that played in Bellingham and played with the Volcanoes. Now another one is Shane Turner. Now he didn't play, but
Right.
he managed for us in Bellingham,
Yep.
and then he managed
And he
for us
managed
here.
down here.
Yeah, and he's coming back for opening night because we're going to honor him, and this is our 20th season.
Shane he's a fireball, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
He is a fireball.
Yeah.
Great coach.
Yeah.
Is still on with the Giants.
Yeah.
And do you have a favorite manager? I know you kind of get into that. You know, I look back, you know, I mean, Decker and Treblehorn, and, you know, they all provided different little things.
Well, the ones that stand out are the ones I mentioned earlier. Keith Comstock.
Yep.
Comey was such a great guy. Fred Stanley. I knew Fred before he ever got here. He tried to recruit us to the Milwaukee organization. Many years ago, because the Milwaukee wanted to be in this league, and so I knew Freddie from that time, and of course the time with the Yankees. Decker, though, being a local guy, how can you go against, you know,
Absolutely.
Decker? I mean, Decker is partially responsible for Mickey's success because Mickey's taken lessons from him for forever.
Right.
And then, but how do you know, Tom Treblehorn?
I know.
Now, there's the funniest guy to be around, you know, and probably the most successful. I mean, he was American League Manager of the Year.
Yep.
And he's managing the Volcanoes. So, I mean, those are the guys that stand out, and you can pick among those guys. You know.
Did you ever listen to Trev play the piano?
Oh, yeah. He plays, plays at the Mac Club every time he goes up there.
He's
for the sports
good.
banquet.
He's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
I shared that with you, Brian, that he's a pretty decent piano player, and so yeah, Trev is a funny guy. I miss the Decker days though. I mean, because
Decker was intense.
Decker was intense,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah, he wanted to win.
absolutely. And
But
he
look
did
where he
win.
is today.
And he did win. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Walker, well, thank you for coming on the show,
you bet.
and thank you for opening the
You're
doors.
always welcome at Volcano Stadium.
Well, thank you very much,
All right.
and we'd love to come back and do a couple more shows. And
All right, well, yeah, we'll get the manager on, Kyle Haynes, young
everybody
manager. He's
on.
a fireball too.
he is a fireball.
Yeah, he's smart.
He's
Oh my
up and
gosh.
coming. Yes,
Yeah.
he's an up and coming
Yeah.
manager.
Yeah, he had it all figured out in last year's playoff games. How if this would have happened or that would have happened, just slightly this way or that one, that the game would have been different. I mean, things that you and I wouldn't even think about.
Right.
But he's really looking to stuff.
Right.
So he knows what's going on.
20th season of Salem Keizer Volcano baseball coming up, starting
June 17th.
June 17th. First
Friday.
game. Who's in town?
Do
you know?
I think it's the team from up north.
Okay,
The one we're going to beat.
we'll say Everett. Why not? Why not? We'll have Pat
It
Dillon.
doesn't matter. They're here to see the volcano.
Pat Dillon come down.
I think Hillsboro's
And
fun.
okay,
Yeah.
Hillsboro is always good. That's a nice little rivalry
Oh yeah.
between you and
It's a
Eugene.
nice commute.
Yeah.
Both ways, and we're right in the middle of both of them.
Yep.
That's cool. Yeah.
So once again, volcanoes.com. Check it out. We've got a lot of great things happening at the ballpark. I'm excited, as I'm always excited for opening day with the Volcanoes. Great place to bring a family to watch a game. Inexpensive. Parking's $5. You can get a ticket, GA ticket for I think $8.
Yep. Well, less than that if you buy in advance.
And so, you got decent food. You know,
Oh, you love the killer
famous, the
kielbasa.
killer kielbasa, volcano burger. You know, got to have a Volcano's burger.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a great place to bring kids to get autographs. I think this is one of the more autograph-friendly stadiums in the
Well,
league.
that's not an accident. That's how we designed
Right.
it. Because there's no direct access from the dugout to the clubhouse.
That's right.
not an accident.
And
Because
so,
this is minor league baseball. There should be that interaction.
Right.
So, yeah, but, you know, the direct access to the clubhouse is not the same.
right. And if you ever find me at the game, I usually got extra baseball cards for kids. And so, you know, if you recognize me, hit me up. And I usually got extra baseball cards to give. And
Only Giants, though,
kids.
right?
Sometimes I get the other team, but usually it's the Giants.
Okay.
And
Or Volcanoes cards.
Volcanoes, yep. So once
Yeah, you
again,
still have to sort my cards for me.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
I've been waiting.
I know. I only have. Anyway, let's don't go there.
So
Good
once
seeing
again,
you.
thank you for coming on,
Okay,
and
thanks for having
thank
me.
you.